haven't told her about us yet, or some furious pregnant woman would be knocking on our door by now." The moment the phone lit up, the text message stabbed straight into my heart like a dagger. Trembling, I raised the screen that clearly showed the sender, Jesse, my 20-year-old best friend, and the recipient, my 6-year-old husband, Taylor. In the kitchen, my 3-year-old son was babbling through building blocks. Though 6 months pregnant made my movements clumsy, I hurried to Taylor's bedroom. Through the half-open door, I saw him sleeping soundly with his back to me. This man I'd loved since 19, who'd stayed by my side through my father's terminal cancer, felt eerily alien now. "What the hell are you staring at?" Taylor's voice suddenly came from behind, nearly making me drop the phone. He wore pajamas, hair disheveled, eyes still half awake. "I worked late last night, finally getting some sleep." I turned, trying to keep my voice steady. "Taylor, what's going on with you and Jesse?" His expression froze, then turned blank. "What's going on? What are you talking about?" "Stop pretending," I said, raising the phone. "For months. You've been hiding this from me for 4 months." Taylor's face drained. He sat up abruptly, snatched the phone from me, fingers sliding across the screen before slamming it to the floor. "Damn. That bitch Jessie. Didn't she promise I wouldn't? What didn't she promise?" I interrupted, my voice trembling with rage. "Not get caught? Not ruin my family? It's not what you think." Taylor stood up, looking down at me with a condescending gaze. "It's just a momentary lapse." "A lapse?" I sneered. "A 4-month lapse? What the hell do you think I am? You cheated on my best friend and expect me to laugh and say, it's fine, keep going." The sun was sobbing from our argument. I turned to comfort him, tears blurring my vision. Taylor kept muttering behind me, "You need to understand. Your father's been in terrible shape lately, you're emotionally unstable, and I'm under tremendous pressure." "Under pressure?" I abruptly turned, holding the child tighter. "So the solution to stress is climbing into my best friend's bed?" "Taylor, my dad might not survive this year. I shuttle between the hospital and home every day, caring for 2 kids. And you? What have you done?" Taylor opened his mouth but couldn't speak. I knew what he was thinking. I'd quit my job to focus on the family. After my father's illness, I gave up my career to stay by his side during his final days. And Taylor, he was always that perfect husband, accompanying him during chemotherapy, comforting me when I broke down, taking over childcare when I was exhausted. "I'll handle it," Taylor finally said, lowering his voice. "I'll explain everything to Jesse. This will all end." I stared at him, suddenly feeling utterly alien. The promise seemed so effortless, just like how he had so easily deceived me before. "No, Taylor," I said calmly, "it's not you who handles it, but us. Tomorrow, we'll consult a lawyer." That night, Taylor sent Jesse a message for the first time. "We need to talk." Now, lying in bed, I listened to Taylor's low voice on the phone from the next room, tears silently streaming down my face. I never imagined my marriage would end this way, nor did I expect the people who betrayed me would be the 2 I trusted most. The next morning, Taylor left early, saying he was going to meet Jesse. After packing, I took the children to my father's house. Father sat in his wheelchair, emaciated to the point of being skin and bones, but he managed a smile when he saw me and the kids. "What's wrong, darling?" Father sensed something was off. "You look like you haven't slept all night." I forced a smile. "Nothing, just a bit tired." Father shook his head. "Don't lie to me. Is it Taylor?" I shook my head, not wanting him to worry about these things in his final days. "It's okay, Dad. I brought the kids to see you. Little Bao misses you." Father extended his withered hand, gently stroking my belly. "Our little treasure must be healthy, right?" I nodded, tears welling up in my eyes. Father's hands had once been so strong, lifting me above his head. Now they were as light as a feather, ready to vanish at any moment. 3 days later, Taylor returned, his face ashen and terrifying. He tossed a document onto the coffee table. "Jesse won't let us break up. She said she loves me." I picked up the printout of Taylor and Jesse's chat logs. Each word cut like a knife into my heart. They'd betrayed me, planning for the future, traveling together, living as a couple, even talking about having kids. "She's crazy," Taylor snarled. "She knows you're my wife." "So what?" I asked calmly. "Are you blaming her now?" "Taylor, for 4 months, every time I told you about Dad's worries, every time I crumpled from morning sickness, every time I broke down caring for the baby, you were already dreaming of sleeping with her." Taylor froze. Let's get a divorce, I said, my voice icy cold. Tomorrow we'll hire a lawyer. The house stays with me, the kids stay with me. You can take those mistakes with you. Taylor tried to argue, but this time I didn't give him a chance. The days that followed were like a nightmare. Taylor alternated between apologies and fits of rage. He tried every trick in the book: flowers, written promises, even kneeling to beg. But I stayed calm. I knew I couldn't be fooled by his facade. You've changed, Taylor said during one heated argument. Ever since your dad got sick, you've been like a different person. Yes, I've changed, I replied. Because I finally saw who was truly by my side and who was just exploiting my weakness. The divorce process was far from smooth. Taylor initially refused to admit infidelity, claiming they were merely ordinary friends. But his arguments crumbled when confronted with the chat logs and photos I provided. Jessie tried to justify herself, saying she was just momentarily confused, but fell silent when my lawyer presented evidence of her initiating the affair. What chilled me most was how Taylor's family tried to shift the blame onto me in court, accusing me of being emotionally unstable and overworking myself at the expense of family. Even Jessie's parents, once so loving uncles and aunts, supported them, saying young people make mistakes. Mistakes? I stood in court, my belly visibly swollen. Is a 4-month affair a mistake? Is betraying trust a mistake? Is hurting a woman about to become a mother and 2 innocent children a mistake? The judge tapped the gavel, signaling me to sit. The verdict was exactly what I wanted. I secured custody of the children, while Taylor was granted supervised visitation. In property division, I kept the house and most savings, while he received his sports car and the money he had secretly hidden. After the divorce, I moved back to my father's house. Taylor occasionally called, first pleading for reconciliation, then threatening, and finally disappearing completely. Jessie tried to contact me too, but I didn't answer a single call. One day, I received a call from the police informing me that Jessie had died of a drug overdose in her apartment. When I arrived at the hospital morgue to identify the body, Jessie's parents were in a state of inconsolable grief. Auntie Angie held my hand, her voice choked with emotion. We never thought this would happen. Gazing at Jessie's pale face, I felt no joy, only profound sorrow. She had been my closest friend, sharing countless secrets and experiencing laughter and tears together. Now, everything was over. She left me a letter. Auntie Angie handed me an envelope. She said she was sorry. I took the letter and opened it in the car. Jessie's handwriting was shaky and illegible. The letter explained that her initial approach to Taylor was simply to help me escape that marriage without love, believing I wasn't happy. But she later fell deeply in love with Taylor, unable to break free. She admitted to committing an unforgivable mistake and begged for my forgiveness. I folded the letter and placed it back in the envelope. Forgiveness? Maybe someday I'll forgive her, but not now. Right now, I just want to focus on myself and my children. A year later, my father passed away. In his final moments, he held my hand and said, "My baby, I'm proud of you. You're stronger than you think." At the funeral, I held my 6-month-old baby and looked at my father's peaceful face, tears streaming down my cheeks. But I knew he would want me to keep living strong for the sake of my children and myself. Now, my life is gradually getting back on track. I landed a part-time job with modest pay, but it kept our household afloat. My children are remarkably sensible. My eldest even helps with childcare. Jack, my childhood friend, stands by me quietly. Life's blows taught me resilience, transforming me from a dependent woman who ignored her own needs. I've discovered my strength and found purpose in life. What lies ahead remains uncertain. But right now, I have my loved ones and those who love me. That's enough.